Hello and welcome to the Ren Den. I'm Ren, this is the Den, and today I need to crochet a bunch of little guys. So I'm going to try and give this video a long lead time in the queue for reasons that will very shortly become apparent. If your birthday is in May or June and you know me in real life and it has not yet been your birthday in 2026, do not watch this video. I'm going to try and put this video out after all those events have occurred, but it slightly depends on how the queue falls. So there's your warning. So I'm following patterns from Complicated Knots, also known as Kylie, who does patterns on YouTube for free and also on Etsy and Patreon. I've bought the patterns off of Etsy because I need it to be written down. I cannot follow a video for that long amount of time. And from a brief look, they do look very comprehensive. There's lots of pictures. It seems very clearly laid out. So I have high hopes that we're going to have an easy route to little guys. So we need tools and we need yarn. A lot of her patterns use safety eyes. I don't have any, I don't want to buy any. So instead, we're going to make the little guys and then decide whether to do button eyes, because I have loads of buttons, or to do no eyes, because I think actually some of them will look fine and cool without eyes or with tiny little stitch eyes. That's the third option, I guess. My ongoing knitting and crochet project bag is becoming slightly overstuffed, so I have a couple of longer form projects that I haven't shown you yet. I don't know if they're going to fit in there. So that's another reason why we're going to make the little guys at the desk, and we're going to hopefully do it relatively quickly so that it's sort of minimal mess and chaos. So I have a 3.5 hook. DK yarn normally suggests to use a 4, but Kylie recommends that we use the size smaller to make a nice dense thing like you would for amigurumi, basically, is the idea. And for our first little guy, we are going to make an isopod or a roly-poly pillbug. So let me go and have a rummage in the stash and see what colours we got that will be fun. Okay, ideally I want green. The bright greens are in the back, because of course they are. So there's a really nice dark green, and there's this nice bright style craft. Is that too dark? It might be too dark, the other one. Ooh, we've got like a lime green. That's very cute. Yeah, we're gonna do that. So here are our colours. This is for the underside of the roly-poly, and this is for the back. This one is Starcraft Leaf shade. Yeah, the special double knit. This one, no idea. I've probably had this. This is a kind of OG stash yarn. I feel like I've had this as long as I've had yarn, and haven't so far used it. So that would be nice to use some of that for that. Now, in terms of making the little guys, this will be true for all of the little guys, and I'm not committed to a number of little guys. There's a lot of birthdays. Not everyone is necessarily going to get a little guy, because I don't think objectively a little guy is a correct present for everybody, but some people are already overburdened with little guys and might want other things for their birthdays. So we're going to see how far we get. You may know from the thumbnail, I'm assuming the thumbnail will be a picture of the little guys, so you'll know how many I'm going to make. It's still a mystery to me. But for making them, because I'm following a pattern and the pattern is available for money, and like not a lot of money, like the isopod one was like £4. I'm, as usual, not going to show you the pattern. I don't want the process to be so obvious from my video that you could follow it to make the thing, because Complicated Knots already has a bunch of tutorial videos to make these, which are available for free, and then also the patterns that you can buy. My experience, I hope, will either recommend or not these patterns, but you will have to investigate that for yourself. So disclaimer, this will not be a tutorial, this will simply be a fun time for little guys. So there's a few different sections for making our isopod. We start with the head, body and tail, and then we work on like the shell and the underside and kind of making it the shape that it wants to be. Now ideally, and this doesn't appear to be the case from the pattern, it's just whether I can follow through well enough. Ideally the isopod can curl into a ball in this pattern, which is kind of what I was looking at. Like there's loads of roly-poly patterns on Ravelry, but not a lot of them look like they are rolling a ball. which I think they should be. So we're going to try this. If it doesn't work, I do get the sense from the pictures that that will be because of my mechanical failure rather than, like, the pattern looks excellent. I'm really excited to get stuck in. So let's get going on our first little guy. One, two, three. With apologies for the state of me, I'm technically in the middle of cleaning the house right now, so my hair's up in these little bunchies. I just wanted to give you a quick update. I have done the head. This is the head, so it's like stuffed, and then these are the hollow bits of the body that will sort of concertina together like this to make the kind of, and then there's a shell that goes over the top to make like the body of the isopod. I run into a bit of a snag, which is because the middle row of the body sections is, I think it's back post. It's either back post or front post. I think it's back post single crochet, which is what gives it the definition of the sort of squishing it together. But because of that, you can tell where the front and the back of it is. So here, can you see there's like a step where, because I'm doing it in a spiral, so there's a step where the round changes, but on this one you'll notice there isn't one because it's on this side there. So that's quite annoying. I nearly like frogged the whole thing and started again last night. I was just a little bit frustrated with it. But what I've decided to do is carry on, because if nothing else, this can be my like trial one. I'm almost definitely going to make another one of these. I've been thinking about what little guys would be good, and actually if this turns out well, I would like to do another one for a different friend. And also I think because the shell will be going over the top, and then there's like a leg panel that goes underneath, I actually don't know if it's going to be visible that it changes front and back along the way, so it might be fine. It does say in the pattern that there is a slight twist to it, and there is a slight twist to it, you can sort of see, but not like all the way around, you know? So I've definitely done something wrong somewhere. But yeah, I'm not going to frog it. What I've decided to do is I'm going to carry on, see what happens to the next section, because if they're flip-flopping front and back, then clearly I'm doing something that's moving it round faster than the pattern wants it to be. And if it doesn't flip-flop, then I've just made one mistake, and that's fine. I can actually read. So we'll see. But yeah, I think it's 2 more sections and then the tail. Don't quote me. The pattern's on my phone and you on my phone right now. It's definitely, I have to pay attention quite a lot when I'm doing it. It's not necessarily a TV project yet, but I'm enjoying the shape that is making, and I think it will be cute. So we're gonna what's the word, persevere and see what happens, and I'll come back to you if I make any discoveries along the way. Okay, so we have finished our little guy the first. What do we think? I'm really finding it impossible to photograph this and actually look. It's not that blue in real life. It's more of a like grass green. Amora would call it this season's green. So I don't know why it's blue on the camera. Probably because there's too much green in this room. There was a bit in the pattern where it was like optionally you can sew the sort of plates of the back together so that you can't see the working underneath. And I was like, that sounds better. But now that I've done it, I'm not 100% convinced that that was the right choice. So this versus hopefully you're seeing the before it was sewn together here. What do you think? Which one looks more like a woodlouse? I mean, they're both green, so like they're not like woodlousey. I like his little eyes. In the pattern, it's used safety eyes, but I would rather sew eyes on because it means not having to try and find my safety eyes, to be honest. So little guy number 1, he's done. Oh, I should show you. This is the whole reason why I picked this pattern, because when you bend him round, it just peeks out. See, it's a little roly-poly. It's very cute. So little guy number 1 done. Little guy number 2, we're going to do still from Complicated Knots, because I quite liked following that pattern and I think it was very clear. Even the point where the body sections were like repeats, she writes out the whole section again, and actually it makes the pattern longer, but it does make it easier to track what row you're on. Especially when you're working in the round, and sometimes it can be tricky to know. It's not like working in the round, join the round, it's a proper spiral, so it's hard to know sometimes where the end of the round is, so I have to concentrate quite hard. And having it all written out actually was easier. So, same designer. This time we are going to try and make an owlbear, which is a D&D creature, which is a cross between an owl and a bear, as you may be able to guess. For this, I have these colours. This, again, is not this bright red in real life. This is Hayfield Bonus DK's Soft Red. It's a really nice kind of, it's not like a electric red, it's a really nice shade. This is Stylecraft Special DK Walnut, which is quite a nice brown. And then we've got King Cole Big Value Cream shade for the sort of accent bits and the eyes. For the eyes, this one is safety eyes again, and I don't want to buy anything for these projects really, but the safety eyes that she's used are quite big, so I don't think that I will get away with just stitching to make the eye. So what I'm thinking of doing is having a rummage in the button stash and seeing if we can do cute button eyes. That's the hope. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, which I think is reasonably soon. I think the process for this is body, eyes. So we won't get too far before we find out if that works or not. I'm using a 3.5 hook again, and I've worked out that because I at some point have really like forced stuff through the hole of my stitch counter. Where is it? There it is. So it doesn't like grip like it should anymore. But what I figured out is if I put a needle minder, like a knitting needle point coverer on the end of my crochet hook, it just sits on the end of there, and once there's work on here, it won't go anywhere. Which has been also quite helpful because I don't want to keep like having to put this down and pick something else up to count the things, and then it's just too much gap. So that's my method. Oh, I lied actually. I will need another colour because owlbears have got beaks, haven't they? So this is my nice yellow. I think this is Stylecraft Special again, and in the dandelion shade. I'm pretty sure. So I went through a phase at Easter, which I didn't make a video of because it was like a weekend of a fugue state, where I made a bunch of chickens. I'll see if I can put a picture here. And these were like my primary chicken colours. So we are sort of making an owlbear in chicken colours. Accidentally. But it's not my fault that this is a very good colour for beaks. So, yeah, we're just going to get cracking, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You remember how when I was doing that Christmas jumper before, I got confused between back loops and back posts? I've done it again. I'm this far in. Like, I've literally done the front of the body. This is row 13, this one. This is the beginning of row 13. And I've only got myself to blame. It's not the pattern. It says work rounds 5 to 12 in back loops only, not back posts. I mean, it has made a really nice texture on the inside. You see that? But it's wrong, and I think it's important that the front loops remain visible in order to put the texture on the front of the owlbear. This is a really nice, like, dense fabric, but it's all wrong. So I'm gonna go back to the beginning and do it properly. I need to start reading patterns properly. This is genuinely, the bit where it says work in back loops is in bold. Like, this is not the pattern, this is just the me. Ta-da! I think it's bigger. Because it's not quite as dense as before. And then there's this, yeah, it's supposed to look like that, this sort of nice ridge thing going on, not those really dense layers. So yeah, so that will be the beak, and this will be the head, and then I'm working into the body now. I don't know how much of the rest of it I'm going to be able to film because I'm going away again tomorrow. So I will have lots of train journeys to work on this, and possibly even the next little guy, which I will try and take some photos of. So if there is, hopefully what happens next is there's a cute little montage of the work in lots of different places. And yeah, I will check back in with you when I get back. So I lied. I did not take it away with me. I got too scared that it involved too many bits, and like, what if I didn't go away with the right bit? And I ended up not taking it away with me and then not touching it for a week. I have done some little bits. We have the body. It's got this little tail. We have 2 back legs, 2 front legs, 2 ears, and 2 eyes with button eyes. This is what it looks like all kind of laid out in a sort of rough approximation of maybe it'll look like a little guy. So we have to pin him together. I have had a go at this and I got annoyed and I had to walk away because I couldn't quite make everything symmetrical. I don't know if doing this on camera will be better, but I'm going to talk to myself a lot, so you guys might as well be along for the ride. So I think it's a lot of, the construction is a lot of pin it all in place and then start sewing the pieces, although I'm now reading the pattern, which is a thing I can always recommend doing. And actually, I only need to pin the eyes and ears at the moment, and then we are going to do the feathery bit for his face. So, right, here's his bum. The tail's supposed to be pointing upright, and then we're going to, that's about the middle. So then we've got the problem that I have, and that I always had when I've been trying to work this out, is that the eyes are not exactly symmetrical, and I think that might be something I've done wrong rather than something that the pattern has done wrong. Let's do one more for luck. That's not bad. I think they'll come in a little bit as I sew them on anyway. Give him weird goblin ears. Give him little cat ears. I think somewhere in the middle, probably, is the way to go. Let's try and hold 6 things at once and see how well that goes. like so. And then the first step of assembling your owlbear is sewing around the edge of the whites of the eyes. Now she's sewn all the way around the fluffy bits, which is interesting because I kind of think I want to leave them proud. I think I might go around this circle and leave that a little bit kind of out so it can flare. We've got a little car. Yes, I like it. Alright, let's do the other one and then watch this expression wildly change. That could be a lot worse. Sides are a little bit in different postcodes. But that's cute on my cat, so why is it not cute on this little dude? Chicken. Hold, please. Hi. Big ball. So you can't be on there. There's like needles and all sorts of things you can't have. Baby boy want the microphone? Baby boy terrifyingly want the microphone. You're being a little bit too wired, Mr. Man. What's your problem? You're pretty cute though. Why you got cold beans? Where's the beanie baby's been? Do you have things to say? Good grief. You're a bit too spicy to be in here. You are cute though. Anyway. Go on, go and bother somebody else. Okay, ears we were doing, I think. Oh God. That could not have gone worse. I accidentally showed this to the guy as he was walking up to knock on the door. And then I thought I'd let one of the cats out. And I had to run up and down the house and check that they were all inside. And they were all inside, and it's fine. Anyway, he's looking cuter by the second. Second ear. And then it's feathers time, McGraw. I will say, it is fiddly, but you can't deny the effect. So the idea is to cover pretty much everything that's not eyes and ears and beak. Yeah, and it goes all the way down, so it covers this bit as well. So that's why it looks kind of like a rubber. But it's just the texture of that is just really nice. It's just chains, basically. But I really love it. And yeah, I think generally my impression at the moment of complicated knots patterns is that they are complicated, but the effects are really rewarding and it is really worth persevering. And she's including like 100 pictures to try and illustrate like the bits that are going to be more unfamiliar and that are more specific to the shapes that she's making. So it is, as long as I remember to read a pattern properly, quite easy to follow. So this is monotonous enough that I think it's in front of the telly bit. So I'm going to finish off that, and then I think the next bit is sewing on the leggies and starting to add like expression and stuff. So we're on the home stretch. So I'll probably check in a little bit while I'm sewing all the bits on, and then we will find out what the third little guy is, because I still don't know. Wish me luck. Cute? Oh, the eyes have really gone wonky, huh? Can we fix that? Oh well. I was slightly worried that the ears get kind of lost in the feathers, but actually it's visible like that. I wonder if I should have done them more upright. That's more owl-like, isn't it? Oh well, we live and we learn. It looks like a little sort of flower basket or something. It's a really fun method. I do wonder if it is worth thinking about, like, I've seen people online do the thing where they sort of wave a lighter near it to kind of get the fuzzies off, and I wonder if that would be worth doing for this, just because it's very fuzzy and it might make it look a bit more sort of sleek. But I'm scared in case that also makes it worse. So we'll see. That might or might not happen. Next thing is to put the legs on, sort of like this. Oh, that helps. That actually looks way more like a little guy. And then he's got little stumpy leggies for the back. Okay, I'm filming this now and without no small sense of urgency because there are workmen outside and I don't know if they're going to be there all day. And if they're all day, then I won't be able to film, which means I'll get much further without having done an update. But look! He's so cute. So we have 2 little guys. Now, I know I said I was going to do a 3rd little guy, but as you will probably have seen by the title of this video and or the thumbnail, I finished the Owlbear and suddenly was abandoned by any sense of wanting to make another little guy. So what I'm going to do instead, because 3 is a nice number, we like a 3, is in February, when I thought that my Valentine's Day present for one of my partners wasn't going to arrive in time, I speed crocheted a bunch of hearts of all different sizes. So there's a big one and a medium one and a little one, most of them. I didn't fully complete the set. I wanted to do like a rainbow thing and I haven't fully done all of the colours. So what I'm going to do is complete that, because what I want to do is turn it into a garland. So I'm going to chain in green, make little leaves, crochet these onto it, and just make a very cute garland as a present. So I need to finish. Basically, I want a set of 3 of the hearts in every colour. I've also somehow done 2, can you tell? Yes, these are 2 different kinds of yellow, so that's slightly annoying. So I guess I'll pick my favourite one and do the full set of those. And yeah, basically I'm just going to feel like I'm a bit frantic, but that's because I don't know when they're going to turn the drills on. And I'm sorry if the sound is bad. I didn't have the presence of mind to plug the microphone in. But this is going to be our 3rd project. We're going to do a really nice little, well, hopefully quite long, sort of heart flower garland. I'm sort of hoping if I attach them here, that might read as a leaf, but we'll see. So, wish me luck. So the workmen have gone, so I can talk to you now without being worried that I'm going to be interrupted. So the crochet heart pattern that I'm using is from Stitching Together. It's called Quick Crochet Hearts and they come in 3 sizes. They're recommended using a 5mm hook. I think that's what I did. What I'm doing for the for the set that I'm doing now though is a 4mm, because I started doing a 5mm and it seemed like it was too big and I didn't believe in it. So, but honestly I don't really think it makes that much difference. So for example, this is the biggest size that I've just done in a 4mm hook, and then this is one I did before. It's a little tiny bit bigger. You can sort of see there's a kind of outline, but just the tiniest fraction. So I'm going to keep doing it at a 4 because it's slightly more comfortable. And the only colour I have left to do in the rainbow is teal. Doesn't look very teal on there. This is the blue. And this is the green. So actually, yeah, in concert, it looks great. In isolation, is that just a light blue? Anyway, it'll do, it serves the purpose. So yeah, I'm making the biggest one first, and these take like minutes to do. Like it almost takes longer to sew in the ends than it does to actually make the heart. Like these do not take very long at all, and they're really simple. The medium one and the bigger one are basically the same, but with the bigger one's got another layer of single crochets around the side, around the edge. And the smallest one is literally the whole thing happens inside the magic ring, and then you close the ring and it's like voila, a heart, and it's magical. So yeah, I'm just going to finish off doing these teal ones, and then we're going to kind of invent a garland chain, which I've never done before, and I'm not using a pattern, so that's just going to be me messing about and seeing what happens, really. And then I've just got to weave in the ends, and then it's time to play. So I think I've committed to something slightly deranged, but that I think genuinely has a really nice effect. Here are the hearts that we're going to sort of treat like leaves, is the idea. This is what I've come up with for the garland. So essentially it's 3 yarns crocheted together. I'm using a 6mm hook. I started at a 5, and then I wanted to add a third colour because I think it gives it a lot more dimension to have like a lighter, dark, and a middle. I really like it. I think it's really cute. However, it does feel slightly insane to sit here with 3 balls of wool. There they are. So the plan is basically I will when I weave the ends in, I'll make it so that there's a little loop on the end so that you can hang it from something. And also 3 strands will make it more resilient. So it's practical. Problem now is fitting a 5 hook through literally anything on this. And then the idea would be to crochet it like that. Oh, I've got to, hang on. No, that's right. That's how crochet works. Like that. And then it would be sort of a leaf. And then I would do a few more. And then this is going to be even worse because there's literally no holes. I wonder if, what's the smallest hook I've got on this table? Here's a 3.5. Okay, so I'm going to take just one of these loops. Should probably stitch marker the other 2, but I don't want to. Stick it through somewhere, crochet that, and then grab the 3 back again. That's, oh, do you know what? That's great. That works really well. That's way better than that. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We're going to stop every, I don't think 4 stitches is enough. So there's 4 stitches between here and here. I sort of want double that really. So let's say 8 between each thing. And we're going to just use one colour to join them on. And then we'll see what happens. So for the purposes of writing this down later, I'm using a 6mm to do the string and a 3.5 to do the joining the leaves, heart leaves on. Okay, so we've attached the first one, move back to the 6, get all 3 loops, and then we're going to do 8. I'm overthinking the order of them. What I'm literally going to do small, medium, large, one colour, small, medium, large, the next colour, rather than jumbling them up, because I think that's cute. I don't know why this is so stressful. I don't make stuff up a lot, you know. I mostly follow patterns, and I think this is not objectively complicated, but because it's just that kind of experiment thing of like, will it work, won't it? Just feels a bit more pressure, but it's good practice for learning new things, isn't it? We need a bit of enrichment, bit of challenge. Otherwise, if something turns up that actually is hard, we'll panic because we're not used to dealing with it. So it's good to push yourself. I should probably say I'm using, for the Garland string, this is Stylecraft Leaf, special double knit leaf. This is left over from my Christmas jumper. This is Aldi's yarn. I don't even know if it's got a colour code on it. Probably not. And then this has been in the stash for 100 years and doesn't have a label anymore. So I hope you find that helpful for replicating this if you wanted to. Right, let's assume I did 8 before I stopped thinking about what I was doing. So yeah, I'm just going to chain all these on like that. So there's 8 between each one, and then it's a single crochet into the center or the top of the heart to make it attach, and then pick up all 3 again in the 6 hook, sorry, because you've done the single crochet in the 3.5, and then carry on, do 8 chains. And then I don't remember how many chains this bit is, but I will measure it against the other end when I get to the other end and make it the same. I think this might be one of the most joyful things I've ever made. It's making me so happy. Look. I love it. Okay, so all I'm going to do basically is these end bits, I'm just going to tie them through one of the chains to make a little loop that will stay in the same place. And then we're done. All of our birthday bonanza gifts are complete. That feels better. And that's it. Thank you for watching. That was a slightly more chaotic than usual video. But I just needed to get some stuff done, and thank you for the sort of accountability of like, once I'd said 3 things and I knew that there were 3 things, I had to do 3 things, even if the 3 things didn't quite turn out to be what we thought they were going to be. That's fine. I'm really pleased with all 3 of these. I think they're really cute. Would definitely recommend Complicated Knots' patterns. Both of these are very cool. I didn't do either one of them exactly according to the pattern, but it gives you a sense, and like her instructions are very good. The photos are very clear, and where I messed up was purely just my problem. Absolutely not a statement on her patterns. I think they're absolutely amazing and very imaginative, and she's got like 100 or something on her Etsy, so I'll try and remember to put a link in the description. But please do check that out. I haven't decided what my next project is yet. I have a couple of other crochet things that need to happen. I have a knitting thing that needs to happen. I also have an embroidery thing that needs to happen. So slightly all bets are off on what exactly is going to happen next. I'd quite like to start planning the Zelda jacket back, but I don't know if that just involves a bit too much. Like, I can't quite gauge the scale of that yet, and that's slightly intimidating me, so we'll see. But feel free to subscribe if you would like to see what I end up doing next. All of those things will happen eventually, so if you're a fan of yarn and thread and colours and craft, then I hope that you enjoy this space. Otherwise, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you on the next project.